As I like to say, another sunny day in LA. So, what we're going to talk about today, coming to you live from Studio Cities to Hunger Avenue. Let's talk about it on the other side. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's good to be back. It's good to be back on another episode of Straight to the Shed. So let's get straight to the shed. Question of the day is, what type of writer are you? Meaning, who are you writing for? Meaning, what medium are you writing for? Are you writing for television or are you writing for film? If you're writing for TV, then I will say it's good to be the king, it's good to be the king, it's good to be the king. Because writing for television, if you're writing a TV pilot, requires one to have an expansive creative mind that will allow you to create an entire world. Okay, so when you write your pilot episode and it goes out and an executive reads it, they're going to look at it and see if they can create hundreds of hours of TV from that one script. So let's take the model of an 8 episode season, which most streamers use and most cable channels use. That script, that pilot episode, is going to have to generate 8 hours of conflict. And it has to exist in a dynamic world where if any actor, or I should say any character that's dropped into it, the world is so dynamic that that world would change the character. So the question is, can you create 8 hours of content? Okay. And even though it's 8 hours, is not you're not going to write it like one 8 hour film, right? You write 8 separate episodes, but you have to be a world builder. And if you can do that and you can create a whole concept from scratch and it gets sold, then you will be tasked with running a show, which is called being a showrunner. But if you have never been on a set before and you haven't worked with actors, you haven't worked with costume designers, you haven't worked with set designers, you haven't worked with directors, the studio that buys your script is going to assign an executive producer slash showrunner alongside you to help you out because that's a showrunner's responsibility. You are the boss. In TV writing, they say the writer is king. Not every writer. I'm not talking about the staff writers who staff a writer's room. Down the road, they may be able to do that. So I liken it to thinking of a construction site. You have the architect who has the blueprint, who in turn gives that blueprint to a contractor. Then that contractor hires a bunch of subcontractors who then hire specialists for each department. So that's what a producer does, or an executive producer. Excuse me. You create the blueprint, they look at it, and then they'll start hiring all these other people. And you are going to be tasked along with that producer to do the same. So you're going to have the final say on wardrobe. You're going to have the final say on casting. You're going to have the final say on what the set should look like. So you have tremendous, tremendous power. Now let's turn over the film. And the film is, well, let me first say TV is what they call it's about sustainability and continuity. With film, it's more about finality. So you have one director and it's all about their vision. And so everything that a director is tasked in doing, a film director is tasked with doing as far as casting, they have the final say on scripts, they have the final say on who's in it, so forth and so on. So I hate to say it, but even if you wind up becoming a $1 million screenwriter for film, At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, and at the middle of the day, you will find yourself being the lowest creative person on the totem pole. And that's just how it works. So let's go back over to TV. TV directors are different. They're like train conductors who are tasked with taking, or I should say, train engineers who are tasked with taking the train from one station to the other. So the first director gets on doing the pilot, and they drive the train to the next station, and they get off. And then for episode 2, another director gets on, and they drive this train to the next station, so forth and so on. So you have to just decide, like, what kingdom do you want to be part of? If you want to rule in film, then you have to be a director or a writer director, one who is going to direct the script that they wrote, the screenplay that they wrote. But if you want to be the king and you really want to see your vision unfold, then you may want to try TV writing. And they're different formats. They're similar but different. Like a teleplay, as we like to say, starts off with a teaser, then it has 5 acts, where a screenplay has 3 acts. So there's a lot of books out there you can read. There's a lot of information online that you can look at to show you the format. And if you get a screenwriting software, they'll show you the format of how it's set up. So that's the question. What type of writer are you?
This message was brought to you by Miley for Men Organic Skincare Products and Miley Luxury Cosmetics. Available now on Etsy. Scan QR code below.